What do you do when you feel tempted? What do? Oftentimes, people just succumb to it. And you know what? That's okay. Because it's difficult. It's difficult to overcome any temptation in life. My name is Nagadesh, and I'm here to help you overcome any bad habits, any temptations that you face in your life. I'm here to help you overcome it and achieve a brand new life. So here's what you do when you face a temptation. The number one thing that you want to do when you face a temptation is to run away. Run away from whatever is tempting you. If it's a group of friends hanging out and they're smoking weed or drinking alcohol, what do? You run away, okay? You don't hang out with them. And I know that's uncomfortable, but being around them is going to cause you to relapse even quicker. We will continuously lose if we face our temptation head on. But we can win if we run away from it. And this is the motto that I live by, which is, this too shall pass. Every temptation passes. But in that moment, it feels like agony. It feels like pain. It feels like you really, really want it. All you're trying to do is survive it, because a temptation only lasts for 30 minutes. Sometimes it lasts for an hour. And so if you put out your phone and put a timer for 30 minutes or an hour and try to survive as long as you can, you're going to overcome your temptation. All it takes is for you to put up a timer and start running away for that long. Whether it is going outside, whether it is running with your friends, or hanging out with someone that's going to help you overcome that temptation. And sometimes you can just sit there and pray. But it matters that you run away from your temptation. It matters because you can't be stuck in that room with it. You just can't. Trust me, there were days when I just stared at my computer like,
I don't need it. I definitely don't need it. I 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 need it!
Because what you run to when you're in pain, when you're in sadness, when you're in depression, when you have those urges, will determine your future. And I just want to say that the best thing to run to when you're feeling tempted is run to God. Because God is always there for you. Because God will get you a way out of your temptation. He always does. And the whole purpose of a temptation is often to run to Jesus. It's often to run to God. There was a study done where they took Alcoholics Anonymous, people who are addicts, and they put them in an MRI machine. And when they put them in the MRI machine, they showed them images of people drinking alcohol, people partying, things that would trigger their mind to be more stressed, things that would trigger their fight or flight response. And when that part of your brain is triggered, you're running at 150 miles per hour. You were just racing towards that thing. You know what I'm talking about. That feeling that you just want to kill somebody, that feeling that you just want to fuck, that feeling that you want to do something crazy. That is the feeling that they were feeling. And when they started praying, that changed everything, because it started relaxing them. It started releasing chemicals like Oxycontin in your brain that allowed them to feel less stressed, that made them feel better, that made them feel more connected to God. And when they felt connected to God, that was when addiction and the temptation was gone. So run to God. Run and be addicted to God, because God has a better life for you. God has a better future for you. God has a better hope for you than you have for yourself sometimes. Because these bad habits are not going to give you the life that you want. But this one habit will give you the life that you want. The next thing that you want to do is protect your castle. Protect the castle, which is your room. If you have any of this shit in your room, take it out right now. Because the fact of it is, having all this stuff in your room is going to cause you to relapse. And it's always because of this excuse. It's, oh, I can control it. I can do it. It's okay. I'm strong enough. You're not strong enough. You're not strong enough. I have told so many people this to get rid of their shit from their room, and they kept giving me that excuse. And it's always because they believed that they were stronger than their addiction, and they're not. They're not stronger than their habits, because habits are like concrete. It's incredibly difficult to break them. So what you want to do is keep it out of your room. Think about it. If you're trying to overcome your porn habit, what you want to do is take your computer, take your phone, and put it outside of your room. Maybe that means after 8 p.m. you keep your phone and your laptop outside of your room if you want to start off small. One of the best things to do is to hide it at night. If you're tempted during the night times when you're bored or when you can't sleep, take your computer and your phone and hide it in the farthest places of your house. When you do that, you are less likely to go after it at night. Why? Because you're betting on your laziness. When you bet on your laziness, you always win. And only use it outside of your room, whether it's in the kitchen or the living room. Use it in those locations. When you use it in those locations, well, you're in a public space, and so it's less likely that you're going to look up your favorite websites. Second, if you're on YouTube and you see like a hot girl or something, or if you're just like scrolling through Facebook and you see like posts that you're not supposed to see, make sure that you go on YouTube and say, don't recommend these videos anymore, or block all the people on your Instagram that have, sexy photos or whatever. Block these people, because the more your mind is fixated on these images, the more you're going to want it. Because where your thoughts go, that's where your actions are going to go as well. So make sure that your thoughts are on higher things like God. Your thoughts are on day 40. Your thoughts are on a new life for yourself. Because when you have your thoughts on a new life, you are more likely to achieve it. It matters where your thoughts are. It matters what you run to when you're stressed. So make sure that you're running to God. Make sure that you're running and keeping everything outside of your room. And the third thing is, don't exchange one addiction for another. Okay? Don't exchange one bad habit for another bad habit. It's like trading your porn habit for a weed habit. Don't do it. They're both bad for you. So honestly, you have to trade for a good habit. You have to trade for meditation. You have to trade for yoga. You have to trade for running outside, or instead talking with your friends. Make sure that you trade your habit and do it correctly. What you run to matters. It's so easy to just relapse. It's so easy to go back into the past. But it's harder to build something new. And that means you have to overcome temptations. Because when you're going after a new life, you have to overcome the old one. And that old one will always tempt you when you are vulnerable. When you are the most vulnerable, you are going to get tempted. And that's just a given fact. So make sure that the next temptation that you get, understand that you are vulnerable right now. And vulnerabilities come in different ways. And oftentimes, it's when you're emotional. When you are emotional, think about it. You just got broken up with your girlfriend. You just got into a fight with your roommate. Or somebody just pissed you off while driving. You're more emotional. And when you're emotional, your brain is stressed. Your brain is stressed and wants to find a way to find relief. And when you want to find relief, what do? You run to things that are comfortable. So, whenever you feel temptation, what do?